I have heard it be said that the problem with society nowadays is that we don't have a great struggle. We don't have great opposition. And I'm trying to mind my words right now for the sake of censorship or whatever, um, political correctness. But I disagree, actually. I don't think that the issue is completely a matter of there being no great war. I think it's just a new type of struggle. The challenge ahead of us now as a society is not so much the necessity to face uh, an opposing entity such as a foreign land or foreign people as much as it is a struggle to look within ourselves and decide what we're going to be, how we feel about what we have had so far. I think the next step forward is the next step up the hierarchy of needs as a whole, as a collective. Uh, we got to be in harmony, um, as if we were a crowd at an assembly, you know. And there's a person in the middle on the floor, and they're running around the entire court. And as they run around, like each section cheers maybe what's written on a card. So in a similar way, we must all be in harmony so that we know ourselves and we know our part. We know when our time comes. But we have so many different views that we are fighting each other and we're missing out on the opportunity that is in front of us to do something big. Am I going to say that it would be a utopian society that we can create? I don't think so. I think I heard a coworker of mine once say that he believes that there will be something so big one day that we'll look back and we'll say, "Man, what were we thinking?" And then there will be world peace. I disagree. And that's part of my reason for why I disagree, because the simple fact that I disagree makes me feel like somebody then is going to disagree. And somebody who disagrees, maybe not everybody, but there might be somebody who'll be willing to, you know, confront you in a way you don't want to be confronted. Since nobody has watched my videos yet, I don't know. I don't have really any perspective of any outside. Uh, I don't have any perspective outside of myself. I haven't had anybody come on here and disagree with me yet and argue so that I can say, oh, this is what they disagree with me on, and this is how, and this is why. But I think I would be fooling myself to say that it's not going to happen. Um, that is a part of life that I'm trying to accept. What goes up must come down. We're not going to agree on everything always, but I do think that we can find a way to at least sit down at the table, have a discussion, and no matter the disagreement, so long as we stay in our lanes, we can be cool. You know, we can go back and we can be cool. But, you know, I think I might be getting too far off topic. I just want to go back to this idea that, you know, culture is changing. Uh, the digital age is here. It's here in a way that's greater than what we recognize, greater than what is broadly accepted. Um, I don't feel like I have the credentials to speak too specifically or with such authority. However, I think that what is happening right now, and I can't mark its progress exactly or say what stage it is in, but what is happening right now with technology is just as significant as the Industrial Revolution or the agricultural revolution. What is happening right now is about to change, is changing the way we as a species operate. Um, and without getting too much into that aspect of it, one thing it's providing to us is that instant gratification, instant communication, instant validation. I mean, we're being exposed. I mean, just we're being exposed to fantastic stuff. Fantastic, like fantasy. I mean, computer generated media, movies, theater, music, sensational, sensational. And I think that our exposure to such content, I mean, the things that you could only dream about at night, you know, things that you could only dream about while on the farm, things that you could only dream about, you know, hammering nails in the wood are here to a point where it's affecting the psyche. It's forcing a sort of accelerated psychological evolution. One of my favorite speakers, Alan Watts, used to talk about how previous generations, it took hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years for a way of life to change. I mean, when writings became available for the common person, like, you know, books, stories, that was huge. But it was just maybe a few books, a few writings. But now every day, millions of pieces of content, writings, videos, I mean, are produced every day from the depths of the mind. I mean, true creativity and, you know, being exposed to such creativity puts our mind in a position to consume that information and therefore adjust. Therefore, forcing us to evolve or enabling us to evolve at a quicker rate. I mean, when you receive information, that's an opportunity to change for the better, especially if you understand that. I mean, it doesn't have to be truth. It can be just an idea. Like, I mean, just imagine the first time somebody said, "What if we could fly?" Like the allegory of the cave, you know? There was a time where fly, yeah, fly, fly, yeah, like the birds. That's stupid. You're stupid for thinking that. How? I mean, maybe that's not the best example, but I mean, you know, just having the information being put inside of our brain, like it's hard to think outside of the box that is your mind, especially if you lack the creativity. But living in this modern age, we're sharing information at such a rate that's forcing us to evolve that we've reached a point where it's not so much that our stagnation, our incompetence, our malcontent, our any negative thing that you can think of, it's not so much that we don't have a great struggle, a great war. It's just that we don't recognize the war that's in front of us. And that's the war within. That is the next level of psychological evolution, taking our creativity to the next step and making good use of it, and re-examining the way, re-examining our beliefs as a collective, re-examining our morals, re-examining our desires, our purpose, and how we want to function. I think maybe the closest thing I can say that would relate it would be, like a flock of birds, um, or some sort of wild animal that operated one way in the summertime, but now that the wintertime is coming, they need to operate another way. They need to move to another land, and they're still a collective, but they can't continue the way they once were. With that being said, it's 11 minutes. If you made it this far into the video, I am impressed. I almost lost myself. Thank you.